To create a user in the Malaysian Labour Law Visit, first log into the Malaysian Labour Law Visit. We'll click on the login button, and under the Malaysian Labour Laws Visit and our block, we'll enter the super user and the super user password. In this case, it will be Sharon. Password will also be Sharon. We will change this later. Click on the login, and you should be greeted by the main page of the Malaysian Labour Laws Visit. From here, do not close the page. Click on the address bar and change the address URL to net.leonshires.com/admin/default.aspx. This step has to be performed manually as there is no link to access this page. So once you enter the link, the admin functions will be shown. Click on the Malaysian Labour Laws Visit Users and you'll be shown the maintenance screen for the MLLW user. To add a user, click on the Add User tab and enter the user ID. In this case, we'll use john@john.com or any user ID that you feel is necessary. But by default, we are using the standard name alias company. So the password we'll put as John. Company name will be John Industries. Normal user and block access will be turned on by default, and we will set the start date to April, end date to 30th. If we start the end date to 30th of April, after this 30th of April, the user will no longer have access to the system. So let's click Save and Add. The user has been created. Now to test whether the user is able to access, what the user will be doing is we will be entering to the Malaysian Labour Laws Visit page through our main company website, leonshires.com. So the user will click on the login and they will enter the user ID and password. In this case is John@John. Password is John. And by clicking login, the user is ready in our system and can access all the blog sections of law job descriptions that we have. Okay, I'm going to close this window. More on the user maintenance screen, you can edit and view the user. In this case, you would like to search for John, you can sort it by user ID. And user ID will be arranged alphabetically. So I'll click next page until I located John. So let's see, nope. Okay, okay, so we have it John@John, which what we have created earlier. You can delete the user as well. Also, if the user forgets his or her password, you can reset the password or change the date of his access. So by clicking on the reset password /date, you'll be greeted by this screen, and we will filter the company by what John belongs to. In this case, it should be John Industry, but we don't see it over here. It's because the page needs to be refreshed. So you can click on the MLLW users again to refresh the company list. And we go back here, and okay, John Industry is there. Once we select it, click on the filter, and since we only have one user, John will be displayed. So you can switch the new password, John2, and also you can change the date maybe to any other date to extend his evaluation perhaps. So maybe let's change to October. Okay, and click on reset. So the user changes are taken into effectively immediately. That's it for adding users.